Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A. and it's been quite a month. Thank you for all of you who are still with me. If you know, you know. Anyway, I thought I would do my October faves and flops today because it's November 2nd as we speak, and I have, we had a death in the family, okay? And ironically, she died on October 18th. My sister-in-law from 1983, she married my brother, and she's been a big part of my family. And it was the first person in our family that's in our siblings' age, you know. So it was very, very powerful. So it was kind of strange. This is the first funeral I've attended since I've been in this business. And it was in Massachusetts. My brother is pretty devastated. We went to a 3-hour wake the night before, and she had been cremated. And there was it was a beautiful urn on the table with flowers around it, flowers on stands around it. And then there was a sofa and some chairs, and her sister and her family, my sister and myself, sat there, and he sat at the head of the sofa looking at the urn. Well, no planning had gone in at all to this funeral, and he knew she was very sick for the last 2 years. She's been very sick, and yet nothing was prepared. No obituary was written, no picture was selected, no songs or life tribute story, nothing. We sat in silence for 3 hours while his neighbors came up. He's in a very supportive senior neighborhood. They came up and, you know, oh, we live up around the bend, and, you know, we heard about it, and a very supportive group. And he's in a military group. He was a veteran. And so I just thought to myself, here, I just did this video a few years ago about burials and funerals. Since I started this job, I know the process pretty well. Most general people don't, but what I do know is that had this been better prepared, it would have gone so much smoother for those who are left behind. I'm going to talk about it again, and I'm not a sponsored channel or anything, but there's a book on Amazon, and it's called I'm Dead Now What? And it goes over like everything that you would need to fill in about your life, your wishes, your insurance, your Facebook account, passwords, all kinds of things about your life, what you want mentioned in your obituary. You can even put a picture in here that you used. And I did do a video all about funeral planning, and I'll put it at the end of this one. But my point is, nothing was done. And I offered to do a slideshow, and he said, well, her pictures are all over. They're in boxes in the garage, they're in boxes in the attic, and I can't find half the papers I need to finance this, and I don't know where her insurance papers are. And I mean, he had to have, because she's being buried in a military cemetery, he had to find all of his old military documents as well. And I had preached before about having one of these expandable folders in a place where your family knows where it is. And it, in dividers, you can have, household stuff, my store stuff, my job stuff, Facebook, Google accounts, whatever, banking information, insurance information. You can put this stuff in a place like this, along with a book like this, and you can even select the picture you want for your own obituary. And this sounds morbid and terrible, but I can tell you that it was a miserable 3 hours sitting there, no music playing. And I know she liked music. She played the banjo, she liked country music, she liked nothing was played, nothing. And nobody spoke. Nobody said anything. Nobody was asked to say anything because nothing was planned. And so it was just us sitting there uncomfortably for 3 hours starving. And then the next morning, we all went to the same place, and this fire and brimstone minister from a church that neither my brother or she were members of, but she was a member of that religion, fire and brimstone lecture, and he kept saying things like, she would have said to you, this is it, I'm running and I'm happy, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, it was a really terrible time. And then we got into a funeral procession line. They put a little flag on your car, and you drive with a whole bunch of other cars. You get to go through red lights, which was kind of fun, actually, on a side note. You go on this, and it was a long trip from the funeral home, which was in upper middle Massachusetts, down to the Veterans Cemetery, which was down at the border of Connecticut. It was a long ride. And of course, right now it's Halloween week, so everybody's got their Halloween decorations out in their yards. And I tell you, it is really weird when you're in a funeral, burial procession, driving by places with caskets, hands coming out, skeletons everywhere. I mean, it just adds another layer of kind of gloom to the situation. And then again, we went to this place, and they said, you know, well, you know, you have to, we're leaving here at 2, and it was like 8 minutes of 2, right? And he said, well, we have to be finished by 2, but does anybody want to say anything? And I just thought, again, you know, nothing's planned, nothing's said, nothing's done. And then it was awkward afterwards. Do we go out to eat? Do we do, you know, nothing was planned. And this is the person who was sick for 2 years. Nobody planned anything. Nobody prepared. So just as a side note to any of you out there, if you're over 60, you owe this to your family to prepare something, even if it's just a list. Or, you know, this book I think on Amazon is about $14, $15. It's well worth it. They have other books like this too with a similar idea. It's basically what happens to my stuff and to me after I'm gone, what music I like, who I want to leave my antique desk to, you know, I love you so-and-so. I mean, it was just, nothing was done. It could have been a stranger. I could have been sitting there with a stranger in that box. And I'm just so upset about it. I thought I'd mention it to you. So, on a brighter note, I don't know if it's brighter. Sephora's having their VIB sale. That's coming up. If you are a rouge, which many of us used to be rouge, and we're not anymore, so now we don't care. I'm just a VIB person. I'm not even I don't know, I'm just an insider now, I think. I don't even think, because I don't shop at Sephora very often. Well, I got this little thing, and it said, you know, you can use these special codes. On the 4th of November, you can start going in to buy stuff for 10% off. Macy's is having 15% off their stuff, so if any of these things are held over there, you do better to go somewhere else, or even the website of the company you're looking for. But I want to tell you the things that I was thinking about getting if I was going to go shopping at Sephora, that only they have. The Hong Van Gogh, he's a beautiful artist. He is a makeup artist of the stars. He had a very interesting beginning. He was born in Vietnam, and his mother fled to Thailand, I believe, with 6 children, and she raised them, and he became a makeup artist. And so he's released a makeup collection, and he's named each of these lipsticks either after his mother or after his life. They're named after cities he lived in. Born from Beauty is his mom. Z Kai something or other. It's a lipstick color. That's the city that took them in and helped them. They were refugees. And so everything has meaning to him in these names of these products. And apparently the lip and the cheek, the blush products, are really good. And the bronzers are supposed to be really good. I've heard very mixed reviews on his eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to swatch them and see how they go, but I've just heard that nobody really cares for the eyeshadow palettes. That really tries lots of eyeshadows, and I'm one of those people. I haven't gone into a Sephora yet that has him available. He's not in the Kohl's Sephoras, so I'm going to have to go into a real Sephora and see it. But some of his lipsticks and lip liners and the blushes, I'm going to, you know, look at them. As far as Kosas, they have a lipstick called Unbuttoned that looks interesting. And then maybe a couple of perfumes, travel size perfumes perhaps, I don't know. So that's going to start on November 4th and it's going to end up on November 10th. So that's something that if you're interested in things at Sephora, which I'm really not very much anymore, maybe some of the scents, some of the perfumes that don't normally go on sale might be of interest. But again, I think like Macy's and Nordstrom and places like that have better sales on things like that. But specialty items like the Hung Van Gogh, which you can't find anywhere else unless you go to his website and he doesn't have a sale going, that's probably the only thing I'm really going to probably pick up just to try. I'm interested in the lipsticks and lip liners there and possibly a blush, not sure. So the Sephora VIB event is going on. If you are a rouge, you started it on the 31st. If you are everything else, you start on Tuesday the 4th. So that is that. As far as what I've been using for makeup and things like that this month, okay, I'm still using this Prequil. This is the half and half. It's a toner, a milky toner and moisturizer combined. My skin looks and feels so much better since I have been using this, and I put it underneath my makeup. It works really well under makeup. If I'm going to use any kind of like a primer, I have been using this on and off. This is the MCO Beauty, the Grip Primer. And I got this out of that holiday 12 icons thing a couple months ago, and I'm really enjoying this. I think it does have a good grip, and it's just in the areas that really need filling. You know, I've got some rough areas here. You don't see them so much under these lights and these conditions, but this works really nicely. This is the Grip Primer. So between these two things, my face is primed really well. I don't use an eye cream anymore. I use moisturizers under my eyes and around my eyes. And speaking of eyes, I saw somewhat of an alarming video recently. It was an optometrist, and he was talking about eyelash lines and how women who wear makeup, especially if they're wearing false eyelashes and using glues and things, to make sure to clean that off at night. And the little film he showed was mites crawling on this woman's lash line. If you have any sort of glue or residue from your makeup, or you're not washing your eyelids very well, I like to do like a double cleanse. I use like an oil gel cleanser first and make sure I get the eye line and all that stuff, and then I use a second cleanser to get the rest off. Or you can take a cotton pad with an eye makeup remover and go over it. Make sure you get that glue off and the eye makeup off at night. Don't go to sleep with your eye makeup on, because the dust mites that are living in your bed, if there are any, will crawl along your eye. Watching these little things walking along this woman's lash line, you can't unsee it, you know, once you see it. And so make sure you cleanse really well. Moving on to primers, eye primers. I went to the Morphe again, and this time I got a deeper color. This is called Solo Artist, and this is a lot like the MAC paint pods. And this is close to the Painterly color, but I like this better. It's a light beige color. It really can cancel out some of the dark discolorations, and it also works really nicely with eyeshadow. So that's definitely something I enjoyed this month. When I wasn't using that, you have to shake it up really well, but Juvia's Place has two eye primers. One is a deeper color and one is a lighter color. But this, you have to shake it up or it'll come a blob of oil. It comes out a little fast. You really only need a dot of this stuff. In fact, this is probably way too much. You just need to put a teeny bit on. I have this on today. It really lightens and whitens. If you really want your eyeshadows to pop and the colors to come out, this is an amazing eyeshadow primer. So that's Juvia's Place, and if you have deeper toned skin, the darker color of this is perfect as well. It's not super dark, but it's darker so that it would be like this light white color would be on me. The deeper shade would be like that on somebody with really deep skin. So this is a very nice eye primer. I was surprised at Target. I went to I always look in their clearance bins to see what's in there, like nail polishes, things like that. And they had Neutrogena stuff. I hope that's not a bad sign. This is the Neutrogena Tinted Moisturizer, and this is the Healthy Skin Foundation. $4.49, and I think this one was $6.99. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like them both. I think this is a wonderful foundation. I think their color range was always the controversy with this brand. This one, they only had this color in a really deep color, so I got this and it's a little bit light for me, but these work nicely. If you're well moisturized, this works nicely, but I think this Healthy Skin is really nice if you're in this shade range. And I don't normally like to promote any company that doesn't have a good shade range. They don't really cover the deeper tones very well here, and they do cover fish belly white tones fairly well, but not the deeper tones. But this Healthy Skin is not bad, and this is shade 20 Natural Ivory. It's like the perfect shade. Speaking of discount, at the TJ Maxx for $5.99, this is REM foundation. I'm like, really? $5.99? I don't know what happened here. I don't think her brand is doing that well, and I think it's a little overpriced. She just released all those Wicked items to go because the movie's coming out this month in November. This is part 2. This is the end. This is like the one where you see the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, the lion, the scarecrow, and the Tin Man, and you'll see the end of the witch. So it's kind of a, kind of an interesting release. She put out eyeliners, blushes, nail polishes, and face blushes, and she's got like pinks. You read the pinks or you go in greens, which is very weird, but yeah, I liked this very much, but it does oxidize. It's got a pump, which is very nice. It's a really pretty foundation. Just gonna put that on. But it did oxidize up at least a shade. And I don't know, maybe this one is old. I don't know why it was in the TJ Maxx, but they had several of them there, different shades. And this particular shade I got called Sweetener Foundation in Light from REM Beauty. And it was $5.99. Works nicely. Again, though, it did, see, it's already oxidized on my hand. It oxidizes, but I liked it. So, it is age friendly. From Catrice, and you can get these on Amazon. This is the Cream Face Contour, the Magic Shaper Set. Now these are all cream products, so you have to make sure you close this when you're done. It does come with a sheet that I could not pull it each time. I couldn't. I had to put my glasses on, trying to get the tweezers. So this has, I'm wearing the blush today. This is that light orange kind of blush, the coral. And then you've got a couple of bronzer contour shades. You've got a light shade here. I don't really think of this as being a highlight. There's really no color to this. It's really not working as a highlighter would. There's no color, so it's just a little bit of shininess. So if you just want a little bit of shininess, that works fine. I think this is if you have a medium skin tone, or maybe you want to tamper down, one of your other colors, work it with one of the bronzers or something, mix it with one of the bronzers. But this is a nice little kit, and it was very inexpensive. This one I didn't like, and this is their concealer palette. it has the color correcting in it. It has the kind of the yellowy shade, the red pinky shade, and then the green shade. And I thought the green shade would work nicely, but these are very dry. And I don't know if I have anything red. The green does not, I don't know, it doesn't really translate that well, the green. So this, and it seemed too dry, and this, if I was going to use this as a concealer, it was very, very dry. I mean, it went cracky on me. So if you're very, very young with oily skin, perhaps you would like this, but this is not an age-friendly product by any stretch. I did like this from Catrice, and this is their Bright and Blur Loose Powder, the pale pink one. It's a very, very finely milled powder, and it smells like a sugar cookie. So it's a pleasure to use, as opposed to the Coty, you know. Really, really nice. It blurs nicely. You can use it under your eyes, and you can use it as an all-over powder as well, setting powder. So this is nice. This is the Bright and Blur from Catrice in the pink shade. Now for our final setting powder, I really like this. This is from Morphe, and this is one of their setting powders, and it's kind of glowy. And what's nice about that is it reminds me a lot of those Hourglass powders. Let me just put this on here. It just gives your skin a very dewy sort of finish, and you just look very like healthier and glowier. This is a really pretty one, and this is called Cloud Light Soft Glow Veil, and this is in the shade Dawn. Dawn. Very, very nice. I do like these powders a lot from Morphe. Morphe's really stepped up their game since they got under new management and got the criminals out. They kicked out all those mean people that screwed all those people and closed all the stores and owe people a lot of money and everything. Well, the people that bought them over are the people that are now creating nicer products and higher quality stuff. And if you have a chance to try out their eyeshadows, they are outstanding, really. They rival high-end stuff, and this powder is no exception. It's high quality. You're going to tell right away. It reminds you of Hourglass diffused light type of powders. Now for highlighters, I bought this a couple months ago, and I probably talked about it last month or the month before, but I use it, and I like to say my faves and flops for the month are truly things I use. And this is the W7, and this is called Afterglow, and it's got a variety of different, and it's got a mirror too, but it's got a variety of different highlighters. And I think that it's got such beautiful shades. You can mix, you know, you can kind of shine over a blush if you'd like. You can, you know, really highlight if you want to. You can go into, like I call it, the oil painting shade, where you're just doing a little bit of a light kind of pinky gold shade where it's not a, you know, see it from space or alien green cast kind of thing. Really, really beautiful. And you can get this in Five Below. Five Below sells these. So this is definitely worth getting. It is the W7 Afterglow highlight palette. A fail though, I think you had this. Marie Claire at the Dollar Tree. Marie Claire, this is a face palette. This was a hot mess. I'm just starting to get really disappointed in the yeah, there's hardly any payout at all with these. The deeper shades are okay, but pretty much the rest of this palette is junk. It really is. It doesn't last. I don't trust the fillers that they're using, or the powders, or the hygiene of the factories these kinds of things are made in. Marie Claire is a nice name, but I don't think the quality is there. And this is from the Dollar Tree. I believe this was $1.25. I have been enjoying my This is an Ulta, this is a sharpener, and it's got two sizes in there. Let me just throw this away here. Got two size sharpeners in it, and I've seen them actually with 4 going across, but I think you can only get that online because the stores didn't have it. But the Ulta Beauty, this is the pencil sharpener. It works really nicely. It's a German-made sharpener, so I think you'd be really happy with it. And sharpening your lip pencils and your eye pencils is really important. So really, really nice. So I'm not sure if you saw that they did do a recall on the Neutrogena face wipes. So if you do purchase those types of things, or if you have purchased them recently, I would highly recommend that you get rid of them. There's some kind of bacterial on some of the wipes, so they recalled all of them. And if you had just bought some recently, just get rid of them. I went to, I have the Kirkland brand. These are makeup remover towels. I only use them here when I'm filming and stuff, because if I swatch something, I've got junk on my hands. This will clean them off here while I'm on camera. Try to get in the habit of washing off your makeup at night. These are really only good for if you're cleaning up stuff, or you're cleaning your makeup area, your makeup mirror, makeup products. You can do that with it, but these are not a good idea to use at night on your face. Once in a great while, if I'm really tired and I don't feel like going into the bathroom, I'll brush my teeth and I just don't feel like going through the whole process, I will use these once in a great while on my face, but I don't recommend them. Rimmel, the Magnify Eyes, the Thunderstorm edition. I did find that on sale somewhere, and I really am enjoying the greens, yellows, and browns. I love the sunflower yellow, but the greens are really nice in this, and then you can use any of these. It's very versatile, even though it's called Thunderstorm or something. Yeah, Thunderstorm edition. It's got some nice shades in it. So if you do see this one is probably one of my favorites out of the grouping. I mean, I used to only get the brown nude one, but this one is nice, and the greens are really nice. I have greens on the corner, and it does add something to you. If you have the right coloring, a deep green can really do a lot for your eye look. Are we wearing eyeshadow again yet? I don't know. This was on sale at TJ Maxx for $14.99, the Naked Foxy palette, and I like it. It's nothing spectacular. I like it. You can use any of these colors. I do like, you know, on here you can use it on the inner lid. Really, really pretty. And then you have this one, which is kind of a nice, kind of a taupey shimmer. You can use it towards the end of your lid, and then of course you've got your brown, which can go right at the very corner. I'm looking in a mirror off camera here. So I mean, you can do a lot with it, and there is kind of a, it looks almost like a greenish gold shade that you can use, but it's got a mirror on it, and this is the Foxy version. For Urban Decay. I haven't really bought very much from Urban Decay in years, since when Wendy left. I think it went downhill pretty fast. They're not very inventive anymore. Okay, in the Goodwill, they have makeup now, and they had a bunch of these. This is the Rock the Croc palette, and then this one is the Duped Cosmetics. Not very good. And it looks like, obviously, as Duped Cosmetics is the name, look who they obviously are trying to do Too Faced Cosmetics, but the formulation for this is like flour and water with a little bit of food coloring. It's really bad, really bad. These are $3.99 at the Goodwill. I wanted to at least try them. I've seen this one before somewhere, and I don't know where I saw it, but this has a really nice case that you flip up. It looks like it would be really, really a nice palette, but again, it's like flour and water with a little food coloring in it. I don't see any color payout at all from either of these. So Rock the Croc and this Duped Cosmetics palette, both of them were total fails, unfortunately, from the Goodwill store. And Goodwill must have a whole bunch of them because I've seen them in a couple different Goodwills. So these companies must have donated their inventory to them, and I don't know how old these are. I hate to even think about it because I remember this from like 2013, 2014, and God forbid it's probably the same batch. I don't know. But if you see these, steer clear. And they had a couple of other variants also. I just, after seeing how these two performed, I wouldn't risk anything. I don't think Goodwill's a good place to buy your makeup. Maybe a perfume, you know, but not makeup. It's not worth it. It's not worth the bacterial infection. For mascaras, I am still loving this. This is the Profusion Faux Lashes. Walmart has this. This is the faux lashes. It only comes in black, unfortunately, but this is my favorite mascara right now. I absolutely love it. It has not failed me. It doesn't leave dings. It doesn't flake. It's an absolute, I've got it on today, and I don't have false lashes on today. This is a marvelous mascara, and it's got beautiful packaging as well. I mean, this is the big thing about this is that it's $3.99 or $3.98. I'm getting a backup before Christmas because things are starting to change in the Walmart price-wise quickly. I'm not going to go there. And I'm still enjoying the MCO Beauty thing I got in that 12 Icons holiday gift set that they put out at MCO Beauty. This is the Extend-A-Lash. This is their black mascara. Really, really nice. This actually made the company propel into the world of cosmetics in a successful way. Morphe, this is the Junior Sweet lip pencil. I really like this. The lip pencils from Morphe are really quite nice. They're creamy. You can smear them a little bit to soften the look, and they have a great color payout. I think they're awesome. That is Morphe, and the color was Junior Sweet. This is Iconic London, and this particular color is called Lip Balm, and it's called Strapless. I've got it on today. This is a beautiful color. This is perfect for fall and for daytime use. I wear it to work pretty much every day. I really like it, and this is Iconic London, it's called, and it's the Melting Lip Balm. Two more lipsticks. I haven't used these in a long time, but I saw them and they were on sale. It is the Clinique Pop lipsticks, and this is Nude Pop, I believe. Really, really pretty color. It's very, very pleasant to wear. It looks good on the lips. It doesn't emphasize wrinkles and lines on your mouth. It's a great, great color. Again, this is called Nude Pop, and this is #1 Nude Pop. I'll put it over the top of the other one. It's a very natural looking lipstick. It's very moisturizing, and again, with winter time coming and lips being dry, this is a wonderful option from Clinique. We got pretty much another month to go before we switch into our winter gear and winter colors. I go into the autumn shades now, October, and now I really enjoy wearing all the autumn shades and the spice shades. This is Shanghai Spice from MAC. This is a really pretty, kind of a spicy nude color, and it's light. It's not too dark. Shanghai Spice. I definitely have a type, huh? Jeez. This one has a little more warmth to it than the other two shades, and this was a special edition that was put out. I don't know if it was last year or what, but I enjoy this always in the winter. Like August through late November, I'll wear this shade. So, and this is about 2 years old maybe. It's coming near the end of its natural life. Going into my lifestyle stuff, I noticed I bake every week. I bake for the grave diggers. I always surprise them every Monday morning with some treat. And it's kind of a twofold gift, because with me, I'm trying out new recipes to find recipes that I think are just outstanding. I'm going to make a cookbook. And I noticed that when I'm following a recipe and it says, 350 degrees for 50 minutes and just check it with a toothpick. Well, at the 50-minute mark, I'm checking with a toothpick and it's coming up all full of dough. And I'm like, ew, what's going on here? And so I invested my $5 or $6 in this little device. This is an oven thermometer. And if you have an oven that's 5 or more years old, you want to get something like this, because when I put this in the oven and I turned my oven on to 350, it barely made 320. So I've been baking everything on the wrong temperature for I don't know how long. So this will blow your mind if you've had problems with things taking longer to bake than they should. And I had to go to 365. It was 15 degrees low on my oven than what it's supposed to be. And when I put it to 365, it was a perfect 350, and my cake came out in the time it was supposed to, and perfect. So this is definitely worth an investment of $5 or $6. It's a oven thermometer. You want to get one that has, that it's something that can sit inside the oven. Some thermometers are things you stick in meat, or the candy thermometers. Those are different. This one, you actually hang it in the oven, or you can set it on the oven rack, and it will give you the temperature of the oven. And I'm telling you, this was such a godsend to me for baking. And I really only discovered it a few weeks ago. I was baking a lot, and I was like, why is everything taking so much longer? And of course, it didn't dawn on me that my oven was off. So if you're having trouble with, especially with baking season coming up, between Thanksgiving time and holiday time when I do cookies and things, this is going to be a wonderful thing to have. So I do recommend that. I had the vanilla powder, and I had the vanilla paste, and I'm telling you, this vanilla paste is outstanding. Oh my goodness. The only thing I'm going to say about it, I'm going to show you in here, you can see the little seeds, the vanilla seeds. It is a very, it leaves little flecks of the vanilla seeds in whatever you put it in, which is a nice thing. But if you think it might be bugs or something, like if you're somebody who doesn't know me very well, like one of the grave diggers, like, what's these dots? And I said, those are vanilla seed specks. Oh, okay. And they were a little concerned, but what a wonderful flavor this gives to your baked goods. I highly recommend you get a vanilla paste as opposed to getting vanilla extract if you're doing baking, because this will elevate your baking so much. Now, I didn't like the powder, and the powder is twice as strong. So if you have, the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla, you use a ½ teaspoon of the vanilla powder, and it keeps if it's a white frosting, it'll keep it white. It's a light color. But I just didn't like the flavor of the things compared to using the vanilla paste. So if you see vanilla paste, definitely give it a try. It's something that's really big right now. I didn't know these things existed or what they were for. They seemed a little too specialty for me. You know, I'm like a regular person, you know, but since I bake every week, this kind of a thing is a wonderful addition to my pantry. For those of you who know who this is Marty, and he's the robot that goes up and down all the aisles in the grocery store. And I've been collecting Martys for each season. I'm looking for a spring, if anybody knows where one is. But I have all the other seasons, and I have a pumpkin also for autumn. But this is the newest Marty. He has the beak, and he has the wings, and he also has chicken feet on the front of his thing. So he just goes up and down. I don't know if you've seen him going up and down the aisles. If you're in the Northeast, he's part of our supermarket thing. He lets the store employees know when there's a wet spots or spilled stuff on the floor. He'll make alarms. And they put, you know, eyes on it and a smile face when he drives by, and it's kind of cute, really. But yes, the robot Marty, this is the newest one. It is a turkey for the November season with the little feet. So I just thought I'd bring that up. I'm such a sap for these things. My perfume this month has been the Maison Luxe Gypsy Rose. It's a really pretty, kind of an elegant rose. It's just got a beautiful, light, girly kind of rose scent to it. It's very pleasant when you're walking by people. You just smell nice. You know, I don't want to overpower people or anything like that. I just want to smell nice. And when I go by, people go, oh, she's clean. She smells nice. You know, I don't want to change their lives. But this is really nice. Maison Luxe. And these are inexpensive perfumes, by the way. This is inexpensive. And if you're spraying it in all the right pulse points, if you put maybe a little bit of Vaseline down first, and then you spray it, the Vaseline will hold the scent longer. So if you have perfumes that you really enjoy and they don't seem to last very long, this is a good way to do it. And also spraying all different areas, not just your two wrists. And don't go like this. When you put a perfume on, don't rub your hands together to spread it out, because you're breaking up the scent molecules. So listen to me, perfumeur. Okay, well, I think that is about it for my October faves and flops. I hope you all are having a wonderful autumn time. I'm sure things are going to be getting better in the country pretty soon. I won't discuss that. I just thought I already had my political video, and I lost some viewers. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sorry to see anybody go, really. I feel like I've lost some friends, because I've always commented back and forth with people in the comments, and to have some of you leave really hurt. It did hurt me. I'm not going to change my politics over it, but I just feel sad in a way that you felt it was that important that you don't even want to watch my review on vanilla paste. I could be helpful sometimes. Anyway, I hope all of you are well. Take care, and please, if you're over 60, I know it's kind of morbid, but think about preparing, at least write down some things, some ideas about what happens if you're not here anymore, you know, because you don't really want to put your family through what I just went through. It was hard, and it could have been so much nicer with music, with a story, with a slideshow, something. It would have been so much nicer, and an obituary picture that wasn't ghastly. Anyway, none of my family watches my videos. That's why I feel, you know, safe to discuss it. But my goodness, think about your family. And it is expensive also, by the way. You know, it's expensive to bury somebody in, if they're cremated or if they're full body, it costs money to bury them. You have to buy a spot and you have to pay money to bury them, to open and close the grave. And then if you want to put a stone down or one of those monument things, that costs money too, on top of the preparation of the remains. So just keep that in mind. But I don't want to end on that. Oh God. Ugh. Hope you have a nice, happy baking season. I'll be with you as soon as I can with another video, possibly a baking video, because I am doing stuff today. I'm making apple cake today, and that kind of could be fun to share with you. I'm doing 2 different toppings, so anyway, take care everybody. Play safe. Toodles.